Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, The Legit Astrologer. My name is Rajat Kapoor. Today I'm very happy. Why? Because Venus is going retrograde on 23rd of July and it is going retrograde for 43 days. The great news is that it is going retrograde in two very important signs in the Kalpurusha Kundli, the sign of Leo, which is the natural 5th house, and the sign of Cancer, which is the natural 4th house. And in any case, if you're new to my channel, please subscribe, hit the bell icon and keep yourself up to date with all the upcoming transit videos and Vedic astrology videos. And if you wish to book a personalized consultation with me, then you can check out the link to my website in the comment section how you can reach out to me. Venus is going retrograde in the sign of Leo on 23rd of July and it is going to stay retrograde till 4th of September. Venus will move in the sign of Cancer in a retrograde motion on 7th of August. So which means from 23rd of July till 7th of August it's retrograde in the sign of Leo, and from 7th of August till 4th of September it is retrograde in the sign of Cancer. It is an extremely important transit for this year because it is going to have an impact on a lot of people. You must watch my previous video about Venus's transit where I have shared the effects for all ascendants, and also I have shared some important dates. So for those important dates, please refer to my previous video. In this video, I'm going to focus on its results for all 12 ascendants in a retrograde motion, and I'm going to talk about both Leo as well as Cancer to make it pretty simple for you to understand. So what does retrograde really means? Retrograde is a situation where a planet is moving backwards. It is not literally moving backwards, but it appears to be moving backwards. Why? Because it is more closer to the Earth. It is in close proximity to the Earth. So if you go out in the night sky over the next few days, weeks, Venus will be clearly visible. The brightest object in the sky, which is not blinking, looks like a star, that is Venus. So make sure you look out for Venus, and this is a good way to connect with Venus as well. So it is looking backwards into the sign of Cancer and into the sign of Gemini, which means that Venus wants us to focus a lot on 4th house matters, which is care, compassion, harmony, relationship with mother or the homeland, and also the 3rd house, which is communication, efforts, change, learning, siblings. During this retrograde transit, Venus will be in two nakshatras, Magha Nakshatra and Ashlesha Nakshatra, which is also activating the 4th cycle and the 3rd cycle respectively. That puts even greater focus on harmony, care, compassion, along with the 3rd cycle, which is about learning, efforts, communication, performing arts. The key message for this transit is fix your relationship, ensure that you communicate there, to bring in harmony, to bring in peace and a sense of satisfaction in your life. Now during this time, the signs of Aquarius and the signs of Capricorn, wherever it is in your chart, is going to be highly active, because when a planet is retrograde, as per Brihat Rasha Hora Shastra, 7th from it is pretty much active when it's in a Vakri state. So when Venus is in Leo, it's Aquarius. When Venus is retrograde in Cancer, it is Capricorn, which is very active, and I'm going to talk about each ascendant, how it's going to have an impact. From a nakshatra based result, wherever the sign of Scorpio is in your chart, because Magha Nakshatra is ruled by Ketu and Ketu gets exalted in the sign of Scorpio, so wherever this sign is in your chart is going to demonstrate some sort of positive results. And Ashlesha Nakshatra is ruled by Mercury, wherever the sign of Virgo is in your chart is going to demonstrate some sort of positive results. I have very limited negative things or bad things about this transit because I consider it fairly positive considering the signs it is making a transit in that are very important. Leo is a very futuristic sign. This is where the king sits. It is a very progressive sign. It is indicator of success. Leo is ruled by Sun, which is the creator of resources, initiation, and every good things that we start. It is also about children, and Cancer is the sign of care, compassion, happiness, satisfaction. And Venus as the planet is all about love. It is about abundance. It is about interaction between all of us. So when we come in contact with the other person, it is through Venus, and particularly it plays a very important role in wealth related matters, in modern education, in upskilling ourselves. Who is going to have a maximum impact of this transit? If you have prominent planets in the sign of Leo, Cancer, Aquarius, Capricorn, Scorpio, Virgo, you are likely to be impacted by this transit. If you are running a Mahadasha, Antardasha, Pratantardasha of Venus, you are likely to be impacted by this transit. If Sun plays a role or Moon plays a role in your ongoing Dasha, or if Saturn plays a role, if Mars plays a role, if Mercury plays a role, then you're also likely to be impacted by this transit. So I can very comfortably say that over 80% of people are likely to be impacted by this transit, and I hope it is in the most positive manner. Let's now talk about all 12 ascendants and how this transit is going to have an impact. To start with, Aries ascendants. For Aries ascendants, Venus becomes the ruler of the second house and the seventh house, and it is making a retrograde transit in your fifth house and in your fourth house. The lord of family, wealth, your speech, how you feed yourself and who you would like to protect, and also the lord of your marriage, partnership, relationship, harmony, is going retrograde in the fifth house of your future and fourth house of care, compassion, and where you feel most comfortable. Venus in this transit of retrograde motion is going to have a seventh aspect of desire on the sign of Aquarius and on the sign of Capricorn. So these two signs and houses are going to demonstrate results, are going to be very active during this transit. So you could expect some sort of results which are associated to gains. What kind of gains? Gains from your workplace, your job, profession. Perhaps you've been looking at satisfaction at your workplace, and this is something which you would be eyeing or aiming for your own future so that you get comfortable during this time. For those people who are looking to get married, this could be a potential favorable time and opportunity where you are likely to get in contact with someone or find your soul level connection. If you're already married, this transit can bring a lot of success in your partner's life, which will benefit you as well. One thing that I would like to advise you is avoid any kind of overindulgence during this time. Stay grounded. Being humble is the key. During this transit, your 8th house and your 6th house are likely to also demonstrate positive results, which means transformation is coming, that is there, and it will happen due to your daily routines. So your daily routines need a lot of transformation so that you can fix some of your fundamentals and also get favors from opposite sex. This is also an important Dhan Yoga in transit, which is again very much indicated to gains related to your workplace. Overall, it is a promising transit in case your Dasha is supportive, as much as you avoid any kind of overindulgence. I wish you the very best. Let's now talk about Taurus ascendants. For Taurus ascendants, Venus becomes your Lagna Lord. It rules your ascendant and it rules your 6th house. It is making a retrograde transit in the 4th house and the 3rd house. The ruler of yourself, your overall personality, your immunity, who you are, and also the ruler of your daily routines, your competition, depths, health and diseases, is making a transit in a retrograde motion in the house of happiness, satisfaction, where you feel most comfortable, and also the house of change, which is the 3rd house, communication, learning, short journeys. Venus during this transit wants to really look back and ensure that you focus on two things the most. One is communication that you learn every day, and the other is that you focus on your home, into your family life. So the ideal remedy for you during this time is to sit with your family, spend as much time as you can with them. Also be mindful of what you consume, what you eat. If you do this, this transit could be very promising for you. Venus is going to aspect your 10th house and your 9th house that are going to be very much active, which means workplace focus, professional success through higher learning, and also any long distance journey. If it is for leisure or if it is for work, this can bring you some sort of positive change and satisfaction at your workplace, because you will feel good, you will be more energized so that you can contribute your 100%. There could be recognition as well by the virtue of your dharma as well as karma, which is your fortune and your success at workplace. There is this karmic debt related to communication and your family life, which is going to be pretty much active during this time. So please keep this in mind. Your 7th house and your 5th house are likely to demonstrate positive results, which means love is in the air, because it's about harmony, it is about love, future with your partner, some of the things that you need to sit down, plan, talk about future goals that you have with regards to your relationship and life in general. That could be very beneficial for you. Overall, again, a good transit, a promising one, condition if you spend a lot of time at home with your people. I wish you the very best. Let's now talk about Gemini ascendants. For Gemini ascendants, Venus is the only Yoga Karaka planet, hence a very important planet. It rules your 12th house of losses, spirituality, giving others, helping others, of higher self-consciousness. 12th house is a very important house in terms of knowing yourself and in terms of expanding your horizon in the world. And it also rules the 5th house, which is the house of future, children. It is a very progressive house. This is where the king sits. And Venus is making a retrograde transit in your 3rd house of learning, change, communication, siblings, performing arts, all the efforts that you make. It is a house of growth. And also the 2nd house, which is wealth, dhana, family, those who you would like to protect, how and where you feed yourself. Venus is clearly looking back at 2 things to fix in your life, okay, to support in your life. One is all the wealth related matters, and second is yourself. It's an extremely supportive transit when it comes to wealth related matters. My feeling is, if in case your dasha is supportive, then gain of wealth, rise of your income in some sort of way, it could be either through increment or incentive or a new opportunity, could be certainly on the cards. There is also change that is coming. Whether it's a positive change, whether it's a negative change, how it is going to have an impact on you, depends on your current time period in terms of what you're going through. Your 6th house and 4th house are also likely to deliver positive results, which means there is going to be focus on job satisfaction in terms of what you need to do in order to balance your life, in order to set priorities for yourself. And that's something which you must do. Sit down, spend some time. Those who are also looking forward to making a long distance journey, travel, this time period can bring some sort of satisfaction, harmony and peace in your life. So I would highly recommend. One of the things that you must do during this time is to help people, donate, and in terms of consumption, what you were to eat, consume yogurt on a daily basis or other sour things. Venus is associated to all kinds of sour food. You could try lemon, yogurt or something similar. That could be highly beneficial for you during this transit. Overall, again, a positive transit, and I wish you the very best. Now let's talk about Cancer ascendants. For Cancer ascendants, Venus becomes the ruler of the 11th house and the 4th house. It is making a retrograde transit in the 2nd house and in your 1st house. The ruler of gains, profits, also plays a very important role in your wider network, your friends and connection, your happiness, which is the 4th house, Sukha Bhava, where you feel most comfortable. And what is that makes you feel most comfortable? Is making a transit in the house of wealth in a retrograde motion, and also in your ascendant in the next few days. From here, Venus is going to aspect the 8th house while it's in the sign of Leo, and when it moves back to the sign of Cancer, it is going to aspect the 2nd house. Venus is giving you a very clear message. It wants you to look back at yourself and your self-consciousness. This is a discovery phase for you that could be quite exciting as well, because the more time you spend in your own awareness, understanding your key strengths, the better you would be in your daily routines, at your workplace, at home and in life as well. The results are pretty much clear when it comes to transformation, and also putting your focus in marital harmony, relationships, partnership, and also if you have a business, to put your focus on business and profits. There could be a sudden change in the first few days of this transit, but then the later half is quite better when it comes to support from other people who are opposite to you. Particularly, you are likely to be supported by your partner. Your partner is going to play a very important role in your progress. Do not shy away, spend time, get feedback from your partner, get suggestions, take advice. This is a wealth yoga in transit. Besides being a dhan yoga, this is also an optimum time for self-reflection. You need to continuously work on yourself. You need to work on your overall presentation, your appearance, and how you interact with others. Maintain personal hygiene during this time. Be very cautious of the kind of clothes you wear at this time as well, because this is going to play a very important role. So make sure that everything is clean and tidy. As a remedy, what you can do is during this transit, you can keep a white flower plant at your home or in the balcony or terrace, and that could be quite beneficial for you. You can also consider eating sour foods such as yogurt, lemon. They're all represented by Venus. During this transit, your 5th house and 3rd house are likely to deliver positive results, which means there is focus on future progress through your efforts. You will spend time in improving your communication so that you can put some plans for the future that you can achieve. Overall, it's a good transit. First few days could be a bit struggling, but the later part of transit is quite promising. I wish you the very best. Let's talk about Leo Ascendants. For Leo Ascendants, Venus becomes the ruler of the 10th house and the 3rd house, the ruler of your karma, your actions in the society, work, job, profession, the most important Kendra house in the chart, and the ruler of learning, change, the efforts that you make on a day-to-day basis, the house that supports your growth because it's an important Upachaya house. And Venus is making a retrograde transit in your ascendant itself and in your 12th house, which means yourself and your higher self-consciousness. Venus is going to aspect the 7th house and the 6th house. You need to look back at your daily routines in terms of your competition, what you do on your day-to-day basis, and fix some of these things for your near future, for a very progressive future. The beginning of this transit is quite exciting because Venus is being retrograde in your ascendant. So this will bring some sort of karmic debts related to your previous birth, which are pretty much related to yourself. This is also an important Simhasana yoga in transit, which is the yoga for progress. It is the yoga for growth. It is a yoga to achieve greater heights, positional growth. To specify, if you're in a job or a business, you can expect new positions or some sort of promotion, elevation, or rise in your status. This is also an excellent time for spiritual learning and discipline. As a remedy, you can start practicing yoga or meditation. Surya Namaskar, particularly if you do it every day, can be highly beneficial for you during this time. You will have very prominent results with regards to marital harmony, or if you were to get married or find yourself a partner, and also with regards to your daily routines, the competition which you will face and how you will surpass this competition by the virtue of your intelligence. And at work, if you work with foreigners, you can expect some sort of support from these people who are from other cultures or different countries. One of the remedy can also be that you might need to spend some time in improving your communication or putting more efforts to communicate. It would start from listening to others. That could be quite important during this transit. So make sure that you listen to people. Your 4th house and 2nd house are also likely to deliver some sort of positive result, which means it is about happiness, comforts, and wealth related opportunity that could play a very important role at your home in your life. Overall, again, a good transit, particularly the first phase of this transit is quite promising. I wish you the very best. Let's now talk about Virgo Ascendants. For Virgo Ascendants, Venus is an important planet because it rules your 9th house, your 9th house of fortune, dharma, father, long distance travel, higher learning, and your second house of wealth, family, who you would like to protect. Venus plays a very important role in wealth related matters for Virgo ascendants. This Venus is making a retrograde transit in your 12th house and in your 11th house, which is the house of self consciousness, losses, giving away, spirituality, and also the house of gains, success, recognition. We also see competition from this house. We also see your wider social network from this house. Venus is going to be aspecting your 6th house and the 5th house. This is quite a karmic time for you. Results of karmic debt are related to your future directly, which means this could be a potential excellent time for the year for you to sit down and plan your things. Set certain goals for yourself that are realistic in nature, that you can measure with time, that are also very clear with clear milestones and timelines, which can help you succeed over the next few months. This is a Dhan Yoga in transit, which could potentially be also linked to new work or job related opportunity. If your Dasha is supportive, this is an excellent time for you to apply for certain jobs that you have been wanting to for a long time. One thing that you have to be mindful of is to avoid any kind of overindulgence, because your 6th house and 5th house are going to witness prominent results. So you need to really fix and bring discipline in your daily routine. You need to have some healthy habits to take care of your gut in particular, because if you overindulge yourself, you can have some health repercussions during this time. Gains could be there, but that will only happen due to higher learning. So you need to learn something new this time. Pick up a skill or go for a course that can help you in some way at your workplace or in life. Any long distance travel during this time could be beneficial, more from a rejuvenation perspective, to help you cope up with certain amount of stress, and which will further help you to put your energies in the right direction. Your 3rd house and 1st house are likely to also deliver positive results, which means efforts are going to be there for yourself. You will learn for yourself. It all begins from you. So this transit is quite promising to ensure that you become a better person. There is a mindset shift. It is an important transit for you, and I wish you the very best. Hope you make the most of it. Let's now talk about Libra ascendants. For Libra ascendants, Venus is your Lagna Lord. Besides your ascendant, Venus also rules the 8th house. So it plays a very important role for yourself, your immunity, your overall focus on your personality, your knowledge, and also your transformation, sudden ups and downs, changes, supporting you to learn hidden knowledge or the deep secrets. Venus is going retrograde in your 11th house and in your 10th house. Very important houses in your chart, and from here Venus is going to aspect the 5th house and 4th house by its 7th aspect. So your Lagna Lord and the ruler of your transformation is going retrograde in the house of gains, your wider social network, and also your work, profession, job, or your career, your actions in the society. The message for this transit for you is it is quite an ideal time for the year. I would say for Libra ascendants, this could potentially be the best time of the year. However, there is a strong condition that applies, which is that you must not feel complacent about it. Do not let you stay in your comfort zone. You need to still get out of your comfort zone, not be relaxed. The more you stay on your toes, in the ground, in action, the better this transit will be for you, because you must remember that the energies are a bit conflicting as well. So if you stay active, this transit is going to support you in a positive manner. This Venus's transit is going to deliver prominent results for your future, your professional success, progress, which will give you some sort of happiness at the mental level, something that you've been wanting to do for a long time. This could be a potentially favorable time for you to act, put your plan in action. There is prominent results of some sort of positional rise, but then you need to stay grounded. Practice humility. That is the key. This would only come if you build your mental strength, because that is how you will be able to take control of your ego and channelize it in an appropriate way. There are karmic gains during this time which are related to your workplace. So one of the things that you need to do is do not get carried away or do not demonstrate any kind of overconfidence during this time. More humble you stay with other people, better are your chances of success. You will build very strong and meaningful relationships during this time that could go a long way in your life for your own personal growth. Your second house and your 12th house are likely to demonstrate positive results, which means quite a potential promising time for wealth, sources of income, support of your family. Make sure you spend enough time with your family, and also time to manage your expenses. Also a potentially good time to increase your self-consciousness. And for those who are looking forward to pursuing some spiritual goals that you have or learning more about spirituality, this could be a potentially favorable time. Overall, quite a promising time for Libra Ascendants. I hope you make the most of it. I wish you the very best. Let's now talk about Scorpio Ascendants. For Scorpio Ascendants, Venus becomes the ruler of your 7th house and your 12th house, and this Venus is going retrograde in your 10th house and in your 9th house. Venus is going retrograde in the most important Kendra house and in the most important trinal house, the lord of marriage, partnership, relationship, harmony, also the one who rules your self-consciousness, your losses, or the struggles that you have on a day-to-day basis in life. The house of your sleep or bed comforts is making a transit in a retrograde motion in the house of work, your actions in the society, also the house of fortune, dharma, higher learning, and long distance travel, which is the 9th house. Venus is going to have an aspect of desire on your 4th house of happiness, satisfaction, comforts, and also on your 3rd house of efforts, communication, learning, change, and eventual growth. You need to look back at two things during this time: the efforts that you made in the past and be happy or grateful about it. And second is to spend more time with your family. Give them your time and commitment. This is quite a karmic time for you. You must remember that change is inevitable during this time, and this change is related to dharma, karma. So it is related to your higher learning, fortune, and also with regards to the kind of work that you do. This will play a very important role in your growth. If you have a guru, take his or her blessings. Get an upadesha. If you do not, this could be a potentially favorable time for you to find a guru for yourself or a mentor for yourself, someone who can guide you, someone who can give you that confidence or encouragement to perform to the best of your abilities. Those who are looking forward to getting married, this could be a potentially favorable time, or for you to put your focus back in your relationship, in your marital harmony, to make some improvisations there. As a remedy, you must focus on getting a good night's sleep, at least 7 to 8 hours. For this, you can exercise every day, stay active so that you get a good night's sleep. Your 1st house and 11th house are likely to demonstrate strong positive results, which is an overall better self. You will eventually become a better person, and you're likely to expand your social network. You're likely to gain from other people. Overall, a promising transit, and I hope you make the most of it. Let's now talk about Sagittarius Ascendants. For Sagittarius Ascendants, Venus becomes the ruler of the 6th house and the 11th house. Not the best of planet for Sagittarius, but then this transit is promising because Venus is going retrograde in the 9th house and the 8th house. The ruler of your daily routines, your competition, health related concerns, and also the ruler of gains, that who plays a very important role in your overall wealth, both in terms of financial wealth and the wealth of people around you, is making a retrograde transit in the house of fortune and the house of transformation. From here, Venus is going to have a 7th aspect of desire on the 3rd house and on the 2nd house. Venus very strongly during this time wants you to look back in terms of your family well-being, your wealth related matters, and for your overall self. What you need to do over the next few weeks is to improve your self-awareness, your intelligence quotient, as well as your emotional quotient, which is the IQ and the EQ. If you consciously work in improving both, you are likely to succeed and get opportunities for creating additional source of income for yourself. In simple terms, you need to evolve yourself in order to succeed at your workplace or in life. Hence, I could comfortably say that learning is essential. The more you learn about things, events, people, and yourself, pick up a course, upskill yourself, look at some of the modern day technologies and what's happening around you, and make sure that you're aware of these changes and developments that are happening. During the month of August and September, there could be a potential rise in your income through some incentive or a new opportunity or some sort of profit if you have your own business. During this time, your mentor could also play a very important role in helping you, in guiding you in the right direction. Your 12th house and your 10th house are likely to deliver positive results, which means it is time to help others at your workplace or in life. If you were to succeed, the more you give, the more benefits you will receive over the next few weeks. Again, a promising transit, and I wish you the very best. Let's talk about Capricorn ascendants. For Capricorn ascendants, Venus becomes the ruler of the 5th house and the 10th house. It is a Yoga Karaka planet for Capricorns, the ruler of your future, children, positional growth and success. It plays an important role in wealth and also rules your profession, your work, job, your actions in the society. This Venus is making a retrograde transit in your 8th house and in your 7th house during this time. From here, Venus is going to be aspecting the 2nd house and the 1st house. So it is making a retrograde transit in the house of transformation, sudden changes, and also in the house of your harmony, which is partnership, relationship, marriage, and also your business. Venus is creating a Dhan Yoga in transit, which means there are prominent results which you can expect when it comes to wealth related matters. This is quite active also from a karmic standpoint. This could be due to success at your workplace, a new job. Recognition is also something which is quite likely on the cards during this time. That could be due to a positional growth or an award or something that you do which makes a huge impact on other people. One thing that you must do during this time is to help those who need. Donate with a good, clean intention. It doesn't matter how much you donate. Even if you donate in your limited capacity, your intent must be very clear. Be generous by your heart in your actions. You would also be spending some time in transforming yourself in order to improve your relationship, in order to put your focus back in your marital harmony, or if you're looking for a new relationship, this could be a potentially favorable time. You're also likely to be supported by people at your workplace, which will play a very important role in your success journey. For those who are looking to get a new opportunity or a job, this might be a time that you need to change the way you do things or your approach. Maybe you need to change something in your CV or your resume, or your overall approach, how you leverage your network, how you approach towards an opportunity, how you answer some of the questions that you are asked in interview conversations or other discussions. So try to find out what is that potential change that you can do which can help you succeed. Your 11th house and 9th house are going to witness prominent results, positive results, which means gains and fortune. This could be a promising time which can support your gains through your higher learning. Overall, a great transit, and I wish you the very best. Let's talk about Aquarius ascendants. For Aquarius ascendants, Venus rules the 4th house and the 9th house. Again, a Yoga Karaka for Aquarius ascendants, the ruler of your happiness, satisfaction, Sukha Bhava, who rules the mother. And Venus also rules the house where we see father, higher learning, long distance travel, fortune, dharma. So Venus plays a very important role from a karmic standpoint for Aquarius Ascendants. This is going retrograde in your 7th and your 6th house, your house of marriage, partnership, relationship, business, those who are opposite to you, and also your daily routines, your competition, depths, focusing on health. Venus is going to be aspecting 1st house and 12th house by its 7th aspect during this transit. Very prominent results when it comes to your overall self-development, the change that you've been wanting to see from a long time. You would start getting happy about that change. You would start getting content about that change. However, this might change your daily routine or your habits. So make sure that you follow a disciplined life. Make sure that you continue to put focus on your daily tasks and daily things that have worked very well for you in the past. It is a happy state transit for Aquarius Ascendants, particularly if there is any travel that is involved during this time. It could also mean connecting with your near and dear ones, with your friends, expanding your social network. There could also be new sources of gains if you put your focus on yourself by understanding your strengths, by building on your key strengths, and gradually doing the right things during this transit. One of the things that you must focus is on getting a good night's sleep. Have 7 to 8 hours of sleep at least. Work out every day, exercise. You can practice yoga during this time. One thing that could also be prominent is that other people might come to you for advice. Start giving consultations, start giving advice to other people. If you are in a similar kind of profession of consulting advisory, people will pay you. People will pay you a lot more than you would expect. During this time, your 10th house and 8th house are likely to deliver positive results, which means it is time to put your focus on your work and your transformation, which can support your overall change. It is an important transit, and I hope that you make the most of it. I wish you the very best. Let's now talk about Pisces Ascendants. For Pisces Ascendants, Venus rules the 3rd house and the 8th house, and it is making a retrograde transit in the 6th house and 5th house respectively. The ruler of your efforts, the one who plays an important role in your growth, in your communication, any kind of change, and also transformation, sudden ups and downs, hidden knowledge, is making a transit in your daily routine in a retrograde manner. The house of future, children, your positional success, 5th house, this is where the king sits. And from here, Venus is going to have a 7th aspect on your 12th house initially and later on the 11th house, which means there are prominent results with regards to these two houses during this time. Focusing a lot on giving away, helping others, increasing your spiritual quotient, putting your focus back in spiritual life, practicing yoga. You can also do mantras during this time, which could be extremely beneficial for you. This time is indicating that you look back at your friends, your wider social network, and how you can leverage from them. And also with regards to some of the decisions that you've made at your work or related to your job, whether they were right or not, and some sort of corrective actions that you can make over the next few weeks. This is quite a good time to be able to do that. There is change which is there. It looks like a promising change which can be quite supportive in terms of your overall income or gains. Particularly in August and September, there could be some sort of increment, bonus, rise in your income, either the existing one or a new source of income. You might also spend your time and money in luxury related purchases. So just be mindful and avoid any kind of impulsive decisions for yourself. Make sure you save enough for your future as well. Do your meditations every day, practice yoga or do mantra sadhana. This could be a potentially great remedy for you during this time. Your 9th house and 7th house are likely to deliver positive results, which means it's time for fortune, also putting harmony in your life within your relationship. Travel for joy, travel for rejuvenation. This could also be potentially favorable for you. A promising transit, and I hope that you make the most of it, but stick to your spiritual discipline and routine. I wish you the very best. So this was about Venus's retrograde transit in the sign of Leo, in the sign of Cancer, and its importance. I hope you liked this video. Once again, if you're new to my channel, please subscribe, share this video with your friends, spread the awareness. I hope This retrograde transit of Venus brings a lot of success for us, joy in our life, puts our focus back in our relationship, in creating opportunities for wealth, and brings in peace and harmony in our lives. Thank you very much. God bless you all.